When you think of food as love, biscuits and gravy is the thing that comes to mind for me. It just kind of has this nostalgic and homey feel to it. Hi, my name is Clint, and today we are making chorizo biscuits and gravy. We are starting with 3 cups of flour. We're mixing the dry ingredients together, which is 2 tablespoons of baking powder, and then a half a teaspoon of baking soda, a pinch of kosher salt. Mix that together, and then you want the butter to be as cold as possible because the colder that it is, the more they will rise whenever you bake them. Then we'll take the butter and we will add it into the flour bowl. I just like to get my fingers in here and squish it together. Growing up, my grandpa used to always take all of us grandkids on a day where we got to pick what we wanted to do. My day always started with having biscuits and gravy, and it was typically at this spot called The Grill. It was like one of those diners that was like full of smoke, maybe still is, probably still is. But the biscuits and gravy was absolutely incredible. And I was eating the gravy, and I remember sitting there and thinking about how much it looked like the ash in the ashtray from the cigarettes. But it's definitely something that always brings back a memory of those days with my grandpa, so it's a very nostalgic meal. I am going to mix 3/4 of a cup of sour cream and then about a cup of buttermilk for now, and we'll see if that'll get us through. We're gonna mix that together. This will kind of give us a nice tangy biscuit. And then we're gonna take this and we're gonna pour it into the flour bowl. And you'll see it's kind of creating these clumps. So yeah, I think that should be a good starting point. So then we'll take the dough, put it on the cutting board, and you kind of want to form a circle with the dough. That's probably a good thickness right there. We are ready to cut out the biscuits. You can take a wine glass and then you can cut out your biscuits using the wine glass. Whenever I was in college, I started traveling a lot more, and I moved to Hawaii for a summer, and I learned about all of these different types of foods that I had never had before. So I can always tell after I've been somewhere, I kind of take the cuisine with me in the way that I cook. Chorizo Biscuits and Gravy combines the nostalgia of eating at home and a lot of influence from a lot of places that I've lived, like here in Colorado. I kind of have this base level dish of biscuits and gravy, but I can spice it up a little bit with the green chili or with the chorizo. There's kind of no bounds to it. So it's a good way to show how you can get creative with something in a lot of different ways. Oops, blooper. I'm gonna put the oven to 425, put the biscuits in for about 20 minutes, and now we're moving on to gravy. We're just gonna do some minced garlic, about a half of a yellow onion. I just cut them into slices like this. And then since it is hatch green chili season in Colorado, we're gonna add some hatch green chilies as well. I have like 4 gallons of them right now, so I gotta use them. So I'm gonna start with the chorizo. While that's warming up, we're gonna throw our red bell pepper just directly over the fire. You'll see we have some nice color on the bell peppers. We'll take these off, cut those up a little bit. So I'm gonna start adding the onions, the garlic, hatch green chilies, and let that cook for a minute. Add the roasted red peppers. Kind of let this cook until the onions get somewhat translucent. Also going to add just a little bit of salt in there, as well as my new favorite spice, Biber. I haven't really figured out the name quite yet. It's a very, very mild chili, but it gives it a really nice chili umami taste. And you'll see we've got some good grease forming there. It looks like the onions are looking pretty good. So now that we have this grease formed, we're gonna sift some flour in here just to help it from clumping. And what we want is for this flour to grab onto that grease. And I have about 3/4 of a cup here. You want it to have this type of consistency though, where there really is no grease left. It kind of looks a little mushy like this. And then the most important thing is turn down the heat very low because you do not want the milk to scorch. So now we're going to slowly add milk. I have about 2 cups here, but this is a good thing to just eyeball. Pour the milk in, slowly turn it into the chorizo mix. You can see it's starting to find that consistency. And if you like the color of the chorizo, you can add a little paprika in to make it more red. Another key component to give it the ashtray vibe is black pepper. Be pretty liberal with this. And voila, we have our gravy. Now it is time to plate. I'm gonna add a little gravy, and then I'm gonna add a little cilantro, a little green onion, a little more Urfa Biber, and some paprika. And voila! Chorizo's good, nice fluffy biscuit, and I see some of the dark specks in it that still give me that nostalgia of the ashtray. It's excellent.